name is Nancy Green with Film Critique. And one of the things that really struck me about this was the first meeting that they have. I noticed that there just seemed to be a complete lack of judgment from either side. Whereas, typically with the kind of characters they embody, both of them would get a lot of outside judgment. And so they're both dealing with PTSD and these kind of wounds that you can both see and not see. So can you talk a little bit about that and those themes and how, the outside views versus their own internal views influence their relationship?
Sure. I mean, what I really loved about it is that they weren't trying to outmatch each other in the grief Olympics. You know what I mean? Like, there was never this thing of like, my grief is heavier than yours. No, well, you don't understand. Mine is like this. And oh, my loss was like this. It was literally just two people who could see each other before they even said a word. There's this moment at the truck where, he comes up and is like, this is an 87 Scottsdale. You don't even know what you have. And she's like, well, it's not mine. And he's like, oh, okay, well, we'll take a seat and I'll come and see you. He literally sees that she's searching for something, but he never judges it. He literally just sees somebody who needs his help and has a bomb ass truck and is like, okay, well, and I think that that's something that when you are dealing with loss and when you're dealing with grief, you kind of just want somebody to see you. You kind of just want somebody to see you without saying a word. Because sometimes you get so lost in your grief that you don't even know what you're putting out there. You don't even know. And sometimes you are only seen as your grief and your loss. And I think for both of them, they don't want that at all. I know for James, I'm sure he had been tired of that. I'm sure he really wanted to make sure that he was treated the same and was actually, revered as the same kind of guy he was. And like for Lynsey, who was on a quest of coming back home after being gone for so long, she's trying to figure out who the hell she is in this place. Because that word home is very tricky, right? Like home, in essence can be anything. We often think it's a place. We often think it's four walls. We often think it's where your furniture and your things are, but we so rarely think of it as another person. We so rarely think of it as ourselves. We so rarely think of it as being like the action of love. We often think that home is a physical representation of things, and it's not. And so I think when you see the two of them connect, you get to see them truly like, I often think about people who have gone through terrible accidents or people who have gone through trauma and how there's kind of a script of how to tell, because you've had to tell it a bunch of times. Like if something's going on, like you've probably had to rehash this thing over and fucking over again. And I feel like for the both of them, you meet them where they can toss that script away. They can actually just have a meaningful conversation and actually say, I actually don't like being here. This is why I left home. This is because they see it in each other. So instinctually, they literally saw each other from the moment that they saw each other. And I think that is a testimony to what true friendships and bonding can be. Because I know for me, when I was dealing with my grief, all I really wanted was for people to just, ask me if I was okay. But at the same time, treat me like you would have before. And I felt like when I was going through my grief, all I was showing was that, all I was showing was just like this person trying to like hold on to my grief like this teddy bear, protected in this way. And what I really care the most about with James and Lynsey's connection is that you get to see these two people just see each other and just go get a fucking burger, walk down the street. I gave her my last cigarette. That's really important. You know what I'm saying? Like those kind of moments are what was really important, I think, to showcase, just to be seen and to see someone else.
And as simple and maybe boring as it is, it's also, chemistry. When Lynsey's first meeting James, she's about to pass out. She needs his help, this stranger. And I think, when I was doing the scene, I felt, like not me physically, but that like her knees could collapse at any second. And this person that I'm going to grab onto, those awkward moments and public where it feels too garish to scream help.
Right.
And Lila knew Brian for years. They went to Yale together for, what is it, 19 years? Or did I just,
yeah.
I just aged you and myself so much.
All of us.
They've known each other for 19 years. And when Lila and I were working together really closely on the movie, she just kind of had a feeling from knowing the two of us that we were going to like each other. There was going to be a chemistry. And there was also just kind of that like meeting somebody and like Brian just said, like seeing them and yourself and that you get it, and and she needed help, and he helped her, giving her a ride home, and yeah, but it was also chemistry. Who knows what I'm saying?
Okay, thank you so much. And yeah, I really loved the movie. I thought it was very uplifting, which was Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, we're just saying thank you.
Okay, yeah. I was surprised by that, because I actually expected it to be, sometimes these stories, they can be kind of sad, people miss each other and stuff like that. But at the end, I was very much like, wow, I really I enjoyed that. So
that's awesome. That's exactly what we wanted.